Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Vechain. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. Now let's jump straight into the TA. So jumping into the daily chart, you can see we have this blue resistance block that we lost in May 2023. We retested it as resistance at the end of the month, and then we dumped into June, and then we had a retracement at the towards the beginning of July, and then we had a pullback, and once again we're running into this blue resistance. So the point being, we're retesting this level as resistance multiple times. We're failing to break above, and you can see this was a previous support that we had. So if you take a look at January 2023, March 2023, May 2023, we dumped, and then we started retesting this as resistance multiple times. And we did create a bullish cross on the daily chart there. It is a good sign, but I would not take that as a 100% confirmation of an uptrend. We're failing to break above a major resistance level here, guys, and this is not looking good. So I would be looking, personally, if I was going to enter, I would be looking at a retracement back to 0.01771 cents. On top of that, Bitcoin is looking like it's a bit tired and it wants to retrace a bit just to refuel and get ready for that next leg up. We can also add a descending resistance trend line here just so we can visualize this level suppressing us. And this is what happens. And if we keep hitting our head on this level, and you all know that the more you hit a level, the weaker it becomes, but we don't know if we're going to be breaking out with this next move to the upside. But this trend line is definitely real, and it has been retested since May once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times. So I would probably be waiting before I enter, because since the bottom in June, we've done a 45% move to the upside, and now we did a 10% pullback. I would wait just a bit. But obviously, if you're feeling a bit greedy, so to speak, in a healthy way, healthy greed, then you can enter a bit over here. You can put 30% of your money in at this point. Then you can wait for a pullback, put another 20% at 0.01771, and then the next entry can be at the 0.016 cents, and then at the 0.01470, and you can spread out your purchases however you deem right. But this bottom here is potentially going to be retested at 0.0147 cents. So if we do get a capitulation, some sort of a drop, we're going to be looking at a pullback all the way down here, hopefully creating a double bottom pattern. From where we are right now, that would be looking like a 23% pullback. If we set a Fibonacci retracement from that local high to the local low here, the 0.5 Fib is going to be sitting at 0.01739 cents, and the golden ratio is going to be sitting at 0.01672 cents. And this is where I would be looking to set up a couple of buy limit orders just in case, because the golden ratio is always a good area to be. That's where I would be looking at some entries. Overall, Vechain hasn't pumped like all the other altcoins or some of the other altcoins. So I wouldn't feel like you're missing out here. Don't FOMO in. There's still going to be opportunities to enter. In fact, there are other altcoins right now that are sitting at much better buying opportunities. So always keep that in mind. Taking a look at the daily RSI, you can see that we're continuing to bounce off of this blue support block. We had the most recent bounce in July, had a move to the upside, and we ran into resistance here. Now, this trend line here is not really affecting us right now, but we could see a bounce off of it in the near future. So I'm just going to keep it on the chart in case we're looking for some sort of a swing trade or re-entry. So I'm just going to have it on the charts for now. And if you start dropping below this blue block, I would expect a move back down to the RSI of 32.5, because you can see that every single time you dropped below the blue block, you went all the way down into the overbought, or almost into the oversold, I should say, not overbought. And then you had lost the level here in February this year. You dropped, you lost it in April, you dropped, you lost it in June, you dropped, and if you lose it right now in July, you could drop, and that would be a perfect entry point. So make sure you have 32.5 as a good support level on your chart, because we have retested this level multiple times and we've had multiple bounces since 2021. You don't want to be missing out on these buying opportunities, guys. If we have a major capitulation in the market sometime this year, that could be our last entry at these cheap prices. So make sure you understand the gravity of the situation. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Switching over to the weekly chart, you can see that we are in this falling wedge pattern right now, and a breakout would mean that we're going to be targeting this resistance level over here at 0.086 cents. Let me set up a resistance trend line just so we can keep an eye on this level. So that's going to be our resistance trend line, because that is where we obviously created this massive resistance level. We got rejected from there, and this is where the falling wedge was created. So this is what we're going to be looking at, a potential breakout, and at some point you're going to have to move up to that target. Maybe we get there in 2024. Who knows? There is also this yellow resistance trend line that's keeping us down. We definitely want to break above that. We want to see some volume start coming in so that these breakouts can be confirmed, because we don't want to, you know, a soft breakout and no volume coming in, because that means we're just going to come back down into the pattern, and this would have been a fake out. And if you're looking for those breakouts, like I said, take a look at the volume indicator. Look at the volume that we had over here compared to the volume that we have right now. There is no volume. So once the volume spikes come into play, we can actually assume that these breakouts are going to be valid. And as of right now, I can't say that the bottom is printed in. As long as we're below the August, or I should say the April 2022 low, I'm not going to say that the bear market bottom has been printed, because at some point we can just print a lower high and then still continue to the downside. This is just the way things work. We need to be breaking above major resistance levels in order for us to set targets to the upside. But if we're constantly losing support levels, we can't expect us to go to the upside unless something changes. And this bullish reversal pattern can be that factor. This can come into play at the end of this move to the downside, when we're closer to the apex, because we can still come back down here, retest the support of the pattern, come back up, come back down, back and forth until the end of the year, which is when we're probably going to see a massive breakout. That is if we end up staying down here, because in the next few weeks, who knows, maybe we have a massive breakout, we break above the yellow trend line, back test it, and we continue into into a strong uptrend, into a strong alt season. But no one knows. This is just me speculating and giving you nice support levels. On the weekly chart, we got rejected from the 20 EMA over here, and that's not a good sign. And it is looking like we're going to be seeing a pullback down to this purple support block. So you do have 0.016075 down to 0.0148 cents, and that's going to be your massive entry area, because this is where we bounced off in June 2023 and in January 2023. So this level is very important for us to hold as support. If you manage to lose it, that's not really good, because in that case, we're probably going to be continuing with the pullback, and the 1.618 is going to be your minimal target, or in the worst case scenario, the bottom of this move would be the top of this actual lower support block, and the actual support of the falling wedge as well is something that we can be targeting. So a lot of things are pointing towards a pullback here. Like I said, hopefully we hold this upper block. If not, it's good for anyone who's willing to hold for the long term. If you're trading, then yeah, that's not the best scenario to be in. So thank you all for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of the charts. Let me know what you think of Vechain. I'm going to see you in the next update. Take care and goodbye.